copied to Himachal Pradesh, because that I will be showing what we have done, what results we got, and what is the importance of that. So, assuming these two states in the similar state of tectonics and geology and seismicity, I will be just going through. This is the Himachal Pradesh standing here. I should not go, but considering this data, considering the geology of this area, this is the seismicity what we have plotted. And yesterday also, Dr. Pratik Mandal showed you that these are the three clusters which are having the seismicity, more seismicity in this. And these clusters are replica from the seismogenic sources which are generating this. So in the last, we may recommend that we should have at least 3 broadband arrays in Himachal Pradesh, so that we collect the data and remove the doubts which I have just shown you, that whether how to predict the earthquake, probability of earthquake, or the seismogenic sources and all that. So these are the 3 zones I have already shown you. These are the 3 main earthquakes. Just for information, 1905 Kangra earthquake, everybody knows. 1975 Kinnor earthquake is also known to you, and 1986 Dharamshala earthquake. This Dharamshala earthquake gave us a lot of data, strong motion data, which is given to all the public and the organizations and the institute, and I'm sure many of you here sitting, you have used freely from PESMA's side this data. So this data is available to all. Again, this is just for the purpose. Now, if we see the landslides, the same terrain, the same Himalayas, the mid-central and the Shivaliks and all those. So similar kind of landslide hazard is also there. Now, I'll go through the instrumentation part, which we have done in Uttarakhand, and we should have it for the Himalayan part also. So, basically there were 2 types, seismological stations and instrumentation networks. I'm giving you the IIT experience. In addition to this, Professor Kamal will give you the earthquake early warning system, which we have deployed in 2015. So I will be giving you the national scenario, what we have done in Uttarakhand and what we have done in Himachal also. So this is about the Indian National Strong Motion Instrumentation Network. We started in 1976. So about 298 strong motion oscillographs, they were deployed all along the seismic zone 4 and its neighbor in the Himalayas. The objective was to collect with wide range of magnitude and assure recovery of high quality data sets, provide basic information for earthquake engineering. Because the strong motion data is used for the input to evaluate attenuation characteristics and the seismograph in perfecting design practices and eventually the basics of earthquake engineering research. So this data we have collected. Earlier we have also developed the strong motion analog instrumentation, which was placed. So some of the analog instrumentation, some of the digital instrumentation, and the structural response recorders we have placed, and we have collected the data for this. These are 31 stations in Himachal Pradesh, which have given us a lot of data, and we recommend that these, as of now, they have outlived their life. Since 76, they were working. This was the array which was given to us by Department of Science and Technology. Lately, they stopped the funding for this, and now no more station is working, and it is very difficult for face saving among the international community, because Himalayas is one of the places from where you can have strong motion data, which is giving you wealth of information for earthquake engineering purpose. And I'm sorry, and I really feel ashamed that in Himalayas we do not have a strong motion array to collect the strong motion data once we have the probability of a very high earthquake in this area. These were the arrays which were deployed, and this was under mission mode. So these stations are existing. I don't know the fate of the strong motion instrumentation at those places, because it is given to Department of Science and Technology and now Ministry of Earth Sciences, and the keys are handed over to them, and the instruments, they are in a really very bad situation. They have to be replaced. But we have all the stations information which can be revived very easily. So this is what we have taken from strong motion array data. These are some of the characteristics which we have recorded. Very rapid attenuation of strong ground motion. I cannot take directly any of the attenuation relationship from the world over, which are developed in other regions, because the characteristics of this region are different. Then I will have a different design criteria. Then, for the first time, aftershocks have also been recorded, 9 at Bhubaneswar, 4 at Kokiman, and 1 at Des. Nearest station recorded 352 centimeters per second square at 8.5 kilometers. We have disseminated the data, and all the community recognize this. The users are from all the research institutes and world over. Anyway, the data is being used. Then, not only in the field, free field, but we have the strong motion deployed at Tehri Dam body and the Potential Dam. This is just to see the health of this, because if there is something going wrong with the body of the dam and you are recording it, then the mode shape of this will be different, and the natural period of the dam will try to shift, and that can easily be taken from this. We have a lot of data from Tehri Dam and Potential Dam. These are the types of sensors which we have deployed. Now I will come to the seismological broadband array, which we have deployed around Tehri Dam. This array was deployed in 1985. This was my first job when I joined in December 1985. Next day I went to field to deploy this array. And since then, continuously, this array is giving us the data. Up to 95, it was with DST, and from 95 onwards, it is with TSDC. Now, at present, we have 9 stations VSAT telemetry and 9 stations radio telemetry, and all these stations are giving real-time, online data in Brody, and we are giving the information to Tehri Dam in real time, almost for all this. The main aim was to identify the active seismic source zones, to evaluate the critical seismic source parameters, and the crustal structure of this, and main the reservoir seismic. So further, I will come to that. These are the stations which we have already deployed. These are some of the radio RF stations, the VSAT stations. These are again the photographs of those instruments deployed. This is for the VSAT one. So we are recording it for more than 3 decades. We have already identified the active seismic source zones. The B value is one of the precursor phenomena that my friend was telling. I'll be showing that also. And we have shown that there is no RIS. Shear thrust is giving us little bit, kind of changed seismicity which was not there in the past. Then, in addition to this, we have been doing the micro earthquake survey along the around the dam sites. So, in the Himalayas, we have done that. With respect to Himachal Pradesh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 MEP surveys which are already done. I will just showing some of the results. This is for the cold dam, and now you see the seismicity here. Earlier, the people were showing magnitudes, more than 3 magnitudes of figure. That figure is having and is not having many of the earthquakes because of the interstation spacing, which could not record those earthquakes. So you have to have a dense network to record the seismicity, and this will give you all the earthquakes occurring here, and based on that you can calculate how much seismic moment is released and how much is remaining, and then you can predict the things. So this seismicity figure is really different than the seismicity figures which are available through regional networks. Similarly, for this Tharagram project, you can see a lot of earthquakes here. Then for Duban, a lot of earthquakes. So it means that we are missing the earthquakes because we have no instrumentation here. And then saying there is no seismicity. And we are closing our eyes to the seismicity happening in Himachal Pradesh, and therefore instrumentation is really required. This is for the Drapshla, Kiswar, around Ratlake. Then, for the last 3 decades, more than 3 decades, we are having the seismicity for period. And now I will be showing some of the results. The Q value. It is directly, I am not going into the mathematics, it is giving you how heterogeneous is the medium. Now, let us say, yesterday I have given the example of a block, homogeneous block. Press it, you will have the crisscross, all the cracks, and the biggest crack will give you the largest magnitude. Now, suppose the block is having heterogeneities. Let me introduce the heterogeneities. Now, if I press it, it will not be able to sustain, and it will release the energy much before the homogeneous block. And therefore, the same thing is happening here. If the medium is heterogeneous, it cannot sustain a lot of energy, and the energy will be then released in lower magnitudes rather than a higher magnitude at a higher return period. With time also, we have seen how the heterogeneity is changing. Then the 1D velocity model. Now, these are the things which are using the local data, where the MDT is going, where the MCT is going, and where this detachment surface is lying. This is not the regional models imported from other studies. We need to know what is going on beneath Himachal Pradesh. We cannot just take the models from anywhere else. Similarly, this is the 3D model. Now, at each of the block, you know the shear wave velocity. You know the ramp here. This is very much appreciated by the scientific community when we have given the ramp based on the local data. Otherwise, it was all based on the projected data. Similarly, the Indo-Gangetic plain, we have found the pigment fault, which has helped us for defining the plate boundary. All the scaling laws, which are also necessary to adapt, these are compulsory part of seismic hazard assessment when you assess the seismic hazard. And if you assess the seismic hazard, which is site-specific, you need the scaling laws for the site-specific from the site itself. So this is not available for Himachal Pradesh. Then the moment taker analysis for the seismotectonics. Trigger seismicity, we have just given the green signal to Tiri Dam, please go ahead. There is no reservoir induced seismicity. And it is proven by 30 years data from this. One of my friends was telling about the B value to be used as precursory phenomena. Now, if B value has to be used as precursory phenomena, then you have to have continuous time series of the B value depending on this. If the B value is changing, then it means that there may be a probability of earthquake in near future. So this is the parameter which is used for that. Attenuation relationships based on this is the first attenuation relationship based on the strong motion data in Indian Himalayas. This is another one. Now, one of my students has done a very nice job, and the geologist will see it. He has given at each pixel the VS30. And that is, he has used the proxy values of topography. And this value, I mean, Professor Mahajan is not here. Professor Mahajan used to do a lot of MASW to find the shear wave velocity and all those. Now that is available, and for Uttarakhand region, we have validated it. For Bihar region, we have validated it. Since I had no time, but this is the VS30 given at every pixel for Himachal Pradesh, which can directly be used now by using some of the validation points, maybe one here or here or here, and then go ahead with this. Now, since we are having the broadband data, this we can use also for dynamics of ground movement based on seismic monitoring. So, for the landslides are also happening in this area where the broadband array is there. And Dr. Pratik Mandal also showed you that one of the examples of ice rock avalanche, which was recorded at one of our stations. So we did time domain, frequency domain, and energy domain method. These are some of the parameters which you can use: mean, variance, skewness, protosis, energy, crest factor, RMS value, zero crossing, correlation, and all these, they are coming out of the time series, and you are using them. If you are using in spectral features, spectral entropy, spectral centroid, spectral bandwidth, spectral flatness, peak frequency, dominant frequency, band power, these all are the attributes which are different for earthquake and for landslides. And if they are different for landslides, then you can use AI/ML to train the system, and whenever there is some landslide, it can give you. This is the ice rock avalanche which was recorded, and this was there. So Nishmola station, if you can see this, so this is the time frequency analysis which has given us the information about this, and you can see the phase 1, which was the impact phase, debris flow, and the accumulation, and then the flood phase. So this all is giving you the information from the broadband system how that was flowing, and the flow was at a very, very low speed with respect to the speed of seismic waves which have been recorded by polarized stations. Yes. Yes. No, that was a fleeting success. That was a fleeting success. So we have calculated back the time, and at Nishmola station we could find the time in 6 minutes to 13 minutes before the landslide reaching the dam site, and that was too much of time. You could have done some measures to have lesser deaths of economic. So this is one of the things which is really coming up very nicely that these broadband data can be used to predict the landslides in this. We have also seen one of the Kinnor landslide which was recorded at San and Gyanza stations, and these are the signals which are coming up very nicely, and these are coming little bit much before the landslide happening. So if we can train the AI through AI/ML and put this algorithm at the broadband station, then that can give me maybe minutes before or maybe an hour before the landslide, that now the landslide will happen. This is another earthquake on the same stations, just to compare these time frequency analysis. So we have done that. I can show that. Now the instrumentation application, the ground motion equations can be done. Response spectra, which is, I mean, a lot of engineers they're here. They can appreciate this. What response spectra means to earthquake engineer. It gives you all information about this. Now we recommend, sir, that the strong motion stations which are lying vacant be filled with the instrumentation again. And that instrumentation may come from Ministry of Earth Sciences, because they are also trying there. So we need your help to tell Ministry of Earth Sciences that it is really required here. So and all the stations, all the things are well prepared. They can be used just to go for this. Either those or these all stations. We can have these arrays. I'm calling them as Chamba array, Mandi array, and Kinnor array, and all the communication should be set at the they should have 3 central recording stations, and one station can be at your headquarters, or if you want at IIT, because I have already got a server placed, and that server is supposed to take the strong motion data from all the 5,500 dams. So it's a big server costing around 4 crores, and this will be just a plug-in type of thing, so that we can plug it in there and use all the algorithms which we are using for Uttarakhand and give you the results. For all others, you can use at your place. Oh, this is simple ways. Thank you very much.
Doctor, should we go for intensity meters also?
Basically, intensity meters are also accelerometers, because you are just changing the acceleration to the intensity. So nowadays, when you are in a very advanced electronic kind of thing, the basic information is coming through the accelerometer, and that you can change electronically to acceleration, velocity, displacement, or intensity. So that can be done easily. Let me just introduce I'm taking the opportunity for that. Department of Earthquake Engineering is also having a startup which is developing the sensors now. And these sensors are acceleration-based sensors which can be used for strong motion recording, which can be used for, so it may take another 1.5 years, and we will have the Indian instrumentation also. Why I am telling in this respect is because intensity we can just it is just programming we have to place on that system.
From the audience, we can have quick 1 or 2 questions. Anybody has any questions?
Dr. Sharma, I would like to ask one question about the data transmission from those strong motion locations in Mandi and Kinnor and in other places to your server. Is that transmission happening through wireless?
Yes, yes. We may have two types of things. If we require some kind of warning system, then it has to be a dedicated line or reset or that kind of thing. If we do not want any early warning system, so we can use a modem, we can give IP address, we can use the internet lines, where we don't really go for the in few seconds or so. So that data can be downloaded every half an hour or 1 hour. So that is a very cheap solution.
And also another question about the probabilistic seismic hazard assessment. Has it been attempted or done for Himachal by any of the agencies?
Yes. Seismic hazard assessment, there are around 20 research papers in which it is done. I have also, around 10 of them. Then me and Professor Mahajan also gave a probabilistic seismic hazard assessment for this. And there are around 20 engineering projects for which I am a consultant, and I have given the hazard values which are being used for the earthquake resistant design. So, but it is required. Let me give you some example of Loma Prieta earthquake 88 and Armenia earthquake 89. Both were of 7 magnitude. Almost the tectonics, the reason, everything was matching. The economic loss was also same. But the death in this American earthquake was 25. And Armenia earthquake was 25,000 plus. So engineering matters. I mean, the solutions, they should be adopted, especially in Himalayas. Okay, 20 were heart attacks. So yes. I mean, where is Atul he's there. He will be giving you the bylaws and all that. I mean, in 1923, Kanto earthquake, Japan already placed the bylaws there and strictly following that. Japan, you know, the seismicity and the earthquake damage disasters there. But since 1923, they are doing it. Americans, they started in 1930. And where is Indians?
Okay, thank you.
Around the Thana, Kulau and Lugar, showed a lot of seismic activity.
Yes.
Do you think it is advisable to construct trap there? Because they are in the pipeline.
Sir, whatever is the problem, there are engineering solutions for that. Sir, I will take another example. For this only, for you people, because you are the decision makers. I am one of the observation persons for Taiwan nuclear power plant program. Now, Taiwan is having the Chichi source, which is very near to Taipei basin. A very large source, a very large basin. And they have demonstrated, first they went for Manoman, which is a very famous building there in that basin. And then all the nuclear power plants of Taiwan are on Taipei basin. And they have shown to the world that they can construct this nuclear power plant for a very large source, very near to this, and that too on a Taipei basin, which is amplifying the motion. And the result is 80% of the nuclear power plants, Taiwanese are the consultants. So engineering solutions are there, and I don't know whether any of the dams they have failed in the past because they have used earthquake designs for that.
So one question from you.
Yes.
You said for based on broadband array, you are getting a time hit of 7 to 8 minutes in So what is the mechanism of protocol to have warning in that case?
This is in in development stage.
Okay.
And what
Because landslide can be after a direct time, and you see have the information only when you are on the system. But is there any automation that will get, okay, you have a time 8 minutes before you get the information that can be built? Is there
that can be done easily. That can be given to the broadcasting companies. So, I mean,
automatic information?
Yes.
This is a deviation from the signals that this can happen now.
that can be
It
done.
is in development.
Yes. That can be done easily.
So just one announcement,
Thank you.
just one before you say. We have separated one page to all, one blank page to all. Kindly give your suggestions or comments. What do you think? What should we give? What should be there from the landslide and earthquake point of view, based on your this year experience, so that can be taken up with the government of Himachal. That these type of mechanism or practices should be there as far as the landslide and earthquake mitigation or preparedness is concerned. So kindly give your comments on that blank paper with your name on that, please. So we'll collect before lunch. Thank you so much.
So our next speaker is Dr. Kapil Mohan, Scientist at National Center for Seismology, Ministry of Earth Sciences. So I invite Dr. Kapil Mohan to present his lecture on seismological studies over Himalayan region in India and Himachal Himalaya in particular. Dr. Kapil Mohan, please.
Good morning to all of you. This is indeed a presentation, but before that, I think Professor Amar Sharma has done a big job for me. He has presented a lot of things over there as far as seismology, Northwest Himalaya, and especially Himachal is concerned, with some requests to the Ministry of Earth Sciences also. My presentation will cover some of the science and one of the good news also, as far as Himachal is concerned. So, I'm presenting this particular presentation on behalf of Director NCS. He is away right now. So, before that, it's a state disaster management workshop. So, I just want to take some liberty to speak some past experience based on the things that we were there in Gujarat when after the earthquake and Institute of Seismological Research came in picture, and the development of an institute, while seismicity is high, gives some experiences while doing working in state government, maybe some inputs that will be useful for here also, because all of a sudden state governments get activated while an earthquake occurs. And if it occurs near festival, then also there are things. But all these scenarios we have faced and some solutions we have generated, seismologically, geologically, geophysically, and then societal solutions are also there. Because all these things, once an earthquake occurs in rainy days, in festivals, then lot of pressures generated on the administrator also, as well as on the scientist. So in my presentation, I'll speak of certain things and some solutions we have done, we have given over there too, and some of the art studies. But right now, as a scientist in National Center for Seismology, I'll go with this particular outline: National Seismological Network, Himachal Network, Seismicity in Himachal with statistics, earthquake early warning, which we have proposed, already funded, fund is already approved, seismological studies in Northwest Himalaya, but its correlation. Then 1905 Kamraj. I'll come out with Professor Sharma has raised some question yesterday and discussed also. What is the role and its correct characterization for societal purpose. So I'll put some one or two points where we have studied those particular things and given solution for that. So that also in the last I'll add solutions. So this is National Seismological Network. We have total 155 stations, strong motion as well as broadband. All stations are equipped with broadband and strong motion sensors, operational capability to detect an earthquake in India of magnitude 3 and above. This is our complete network. We are giving messages at two levels, level 1 2 to 5 minutes, internal message of the government, 6 to 9 minute public message which we are giving. The next is, our next major program is Seismic microjurisdiction, which we are the nodal agency. We are in a project mode of 30 cities Seismic microjurisdiction. 12 are near completion and 18 we will take up in the next coming years, or 1 or 2 years. That process is going. So third, we have developed this story started with 1898. First observatory after 1897 Shillong earthquake. Now we are at 155. Initially we were reporting earthquake in an hour. Now it is going in 5 to 8 minutes. Then we increased in last 9 years. We increased the permanent seismic stations capability by 80%. So, sensors and recorders, you'll see that with the time, it was earlier manual recorder, sensor recorder. Now we are with FBA, 3 channels, broadband, then strong motion with high dynamic range. So communications is also added in this particular part. We are connected with VSET in our all stations. So this is how we are broadcasting our earthquake activity report. We are providing our app, that is Bhukamp app. Then we are providing through our different media sources like X is there. Then we are providing on our website too. So different media parts are there. This is one of the pictures for 1950 to 2023 for our seismic activity. Then, as far as yearly seismic activity is concerned, in this particular last January 22 to 23, we have recorded 19 earthquakes in Himachal Pradesh. Yeah, now we are upgrading our network, and this is a good news that we are now increasing our network by 100 numbers. Later on, we will increase by 300, and then our Himachal network, there are already 6 stations, permanent stations. Started our network in 1959. Now we are adding, this is particularly the seismicity of Himachal Pradesh. Here black triangles are the permanent seismic stations, those are deployed in Himachal Pradesh, and 4 new stations we are deploying in Himachal Pradesh with our permanent stations in a year time. So exactly the news of yesterday that there are 2 earthquakes occurred near Kinnaur that are magnitude 2.8. This is the location of those earthquakes. Yesterday these earthquakes occurred in this particular area, though not felt because very small occurrence. So exactly now the seismology as far as Himachal Himalaya is concerned, from any sense it will start speaking about seismicity, then break center. They have mentioned about the area between river Ravi and Chenab, the Chamba historic, the Chamba region in Himachal Pradesh and joining Jammu Kashmir, and Kera Kangra. There was earthquake activity that was reported, but later on with medical year period, no seismicity was there because no seismicity reported in that particular time. But now, then 1800 to 1900, these are the events which occurred over there with an intensity of 5 to 7. After that, 1900 1963, you can see Kangra occur, then magnitude 7 in Kullu. These are 21 earthquakes which were reported in 19 to 1962. But in modern era, when seismic started, this is important because this is the district-wise seismicity since 1950 to 2023 of Himachal region. Here you can see the Chamba has experience and activity with a number of earthquakes, 423. Then second is Laos, Spiti, then Indore, then Mandi, then Shimla. We can see that 34% of earthquakes are concentrating in Chamba region only, and then second is Laos, Spiti, and Indore. Those are very, very close. Already, Professor Sharma has shown three particular seismicity zones. So this is what the statistics since 1950 to this time. Then the district-wise seismicity in terms of earthquake magnitude 1.9 to 6 to 6.9. You can see that Chamba area 2 to 2.9 earthquakes. There are 214 in number, 3 to 3.9, 142 in number. You can see then the term is Kinnoor. Kinnoor has 79 earthquake of 2 to 2.9 magnitude. 3 to 3.9, it is 57 magnitude. The maximum earthquake that is at Laos-Spiti. So this is what is the statistics in last from 1950 to 2022. Now this is an important statistics. The total earthquakes are 1,232. Earthquake range from 1.1 to 1.9 to 6 to 6.9. You can see that maximum earthquake occurred in 2 to 2.9 and 3 to 3.9. 85% of earthquakes are in this particular zone. These are releasing the energy. Maybe the reason that the bigger earthquake doesn't happen because the functioning strain is there. So now this is just a proposed location. From the next one we are coming in Himachal for a field work for deploying early warning system. It will be 100 strong motion accelegraph, 20 broadband accelegraph. We are also planning some mobile seismograph also. But this particular final location we will be starting finalizing from the next one. But we expect these things from the government. The aids of the government is required for getting the permission and cooperation in site selection. Second, the space requirement 10 to 12 feet at selected site at the state level. From the state, the assistant is getting communication facility from state-wide area network if the state will provide. Then second, we don't want any financial assistance for instrumentation from the state.
Can you show the location which you are?
Yeah, sir, actually this is a tentative location, but it is close to zone 5 right now. But site selection will definitely finalize this particular grid. We are interested in this particular grid, but at the same time location.
DC Chamba is sitting here.
Yeah.
So they will be putting up an earthquake early warning system and require. How much space do you need?
10 to 12 feet, one particular space to deploy strong motion broadband.
Empty space or what?
If it is a room that if it will be provided at a government space, that will be better because yeah.
So these are better or I can say big level.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a very important project for the state, and I think we should have.
And from our scientist in charge for this particular part, Dr. Himanshu Mehta, he will also communicate with you.
So it will be basically Chamba and the Darkhal region.
Yes, sir. The zone 5 seismic zoning plan that we are covering.
So now it is coming as zone 6.
Yes.
So what about Kinnaur? Because Kinnaur is
Sir, you will see that locations are till we are
as per map it is not there. But
and it is not the case that if earthquake is occurring at that place.
I was just thinking what Dr. M.L. Sharma was referring to. 3 zones. Kangra, Chamba and Kinnaur area.
Sir, this is even Spiti. This is covering.
No, is it broadband or
Strong
strong motion?
motion and strong motion station. Sir, we are sir, hybrid strong motion 20 broadband. Here,
20,000.
yeah, exactly.
But Nanadi, I think you can install them in schools.
Exactly, sir. In the daytime, yes, but noise will be high. But if conditions are not there, because hilly areas, there are a lot of restrictions.
There are strong motion. Schools can be the best site.
Yeah, because tripping level is good.
So that noise will not happen to the recording.
Exactly.
So school levels are, I think, is quite enough for the strong motion. Only one broadband is required.
Yeah, yeah. Sir, our team will sit here for 3-4 months for site selection. We will select on this.
Dr. Kapil, can you please show the earlier slides which showed the seismic activity in the recent past?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, this is there. So we are coming this complete.
Next.
Sir, this is what the requirement IT is also suggesting. Yeah, they have experience also.
We can show the next slide.
Yeah.
Chamba, you have mentioned 6 uptake of 5 to 5.9.
Yes. So this is 1950 to 2007. 50.
50.
Yes. It's a 70 years. 70 years. I am taking
70 years.
70. Yes. But it is from I am
Then when check
Yeah. Yeah. So, shall I go forward? So, now I think instrumentation portion is over. We are going with this particular network. Now, scenario for mock drilling and other activities. Like yesterday, Dr. Periman was suggesting something on this particular area. He has given the geology, but at the same time he has discussed about active fault study in this particular area. So our next field, that is from seismic hazard assessment. If we think that this is the potential slip he has suggested in this particular area, that is 10.6, 10.8 and 6.5. But at the same time, no chance, nobody has told that how much it will be released in what event. So in this particular part, like for active fault study, we segment the earthquake in active fault zone. So active fault zone, if we segment it, we can easily estimate the potential magnitude. And if we estimate the potential magnitude, then it is very easy. Mahan sir is here to estimate the ground acceleration due to that particular active segment of that particular fault. So if that particular acceleration is there, then for disaster management it is very easy to plan those, think about those scenarios, and in near future, possibility of hazard can be checked, and post disaster plans can be prepared. So in Gujarat area, sir, where we have worked, we have mapped active faults in the seismically active Kutch region. I'll show you the example and results. There were Kutch mainland fault and Katrol hill fault. 4 segments, active segments are there in Kutch mainland fault. 3 were in Katrol hill fault. We have simulated, we have even with paleoseismology, we have checked the potential magnitude in those particular segments. We simulated those particular segments and find out the possible ground acceleration. And in the southern part, port area, there is a lot of industries are there. So for their seismic resistant designing of their infrastructure, this particular part is important. Though a controversy comes on the dip of a main fault, but that also will show that if the dip of a fault changes, how much is the chances of hazard variations are there, and that clearly and directly affect the seismic resistant designing of the structure, which are towards the deep side of that particular fault and which is away from the dip of that particular fault. So I have calculated the amount also in for that particular cut segment. Though it is Himalayan, but some help will come out. So, sir, 1800 feet, we have done an experiment to find out the exact location, because 8-9 locations were already given. Sir, at the same time, it is important, like IIT Roorkee has developed a network over there, there is the data, and a very good research came out from Roorkee and others too, for finding out the source parameter, path, then side effects. So, how can we utilize those particular tools to find out the exact location of this particular earthquake? Because the same case is there for 1905 Kangra also. There are 9 locations and 8 magnitudes were proposed for Kangra earthquake also. We have tried to sort it out with the seismological recorded data and the estimated results from that particular recorded data. So, sir, this is the map showing the location. From South Himalaya to Higher Himalaya, everybody has given the location, sir. Ambassador Jackson, Ambassador Douglas, Wilhelm, Rajendran, Martin, Jaliga, Malik, Rajendra, and Wilhelm. So you can see that some author has given 2-3 locations for this particular earthquake, and this is a big earthquake, sir. Magnitude. The second part, they have proposed the magnitude from 7.3 to 8.1. It's a big band. So second part, when we are planning, number first, like a mock drill, and we are concentrating on the scenario of this particular earthquake, then which location and which magnitude we will think of that. Because that is a rigorous exercise for disaster management. I am not talking about the hazard aspect, but for the disaster management. So, sir, we have developed with this particular methodology for simulation, considering all recorded data and results from the past in Uttarakhand region. And then we came out with the magnitude range, structure area, because in this particular area a lot of work is there. We were able to find out the strike and dip of these MHT in this part, STD, then stress slope range, different researchers have proposed, then Kappa value, Professor Sharma has already proposed. This is the work by our work. Then analytic attenuation, which estimated, and a lot of contribution came out from the response data too, because that was work they installed that particular network, and research was done by different researchers. So these parameters we have utilized for simulation of each and every location and each and every magnitude, which was proposed by these past researchers. So 8 these acceleration maps based on different sources they have proposed. Like for MHT, some has proposed as even MPT, MCT. So we have considered those particular sources and then generated the peak ground acceleration map at the bedrock level, 760 meters per second. Because the next aspect is the site effect. That is also available because there are a lot of BS30 values are available over there. So if it is not available, then Sharma sir has discussed about the slope-based BS30. That is also second part. So we have tried to take, so US-based vault relationship. So these are the BS30 values we have estimated, but BS30 value we have taken for the site where intensity was observed and mentioned in the previous document. There was 31 locations where the intensity of this particular earthquake was given. So we have characterized those particular sites. We have estimated the site amplification. BS30 map is here, sir. This particular area has a low BS30 as compared to the area north to that. And then site amplification, of course, is where the BS30 is less, the site amplification will be higher. In the southern part near Uttarkashi, Srinagar, this area, the BS is less and site amplification was higher. And this is one of the reasons. Most of the researchers has given their location in this particular zone because the amplification was high, devastation was high, and that's why based on the intensity, the location, most of the locations are proposed in this particular Uttarkashi zone. But we came out that once the data of site amplification is available, then on the basis of that, you suppose there was no structure in this particular zone at that time, so no intensity was reported, and then massive seismic zone area was also biased as far as no intensity was there. So in the eye of intensity map, if you will give location, then that creates a problem. So we have then estimated the intensity with the recorded, with the relationship proposed based on the recorded strong motion and intensity data in the Himalayan region. There was relation proposed based on 16 earthquakes recorded data, and we have estimated the intensity because of ground acceleration, because of location and magnitude of every researcher which has proposed their magnitude and location in this part. Then what we have done, we have estimated the correlation coefficient in this particular part. So correlation coefficient is Rajendra and Wilhelm, those are very close, 0.85 and 0.86. So then we have started that yeah, this is their part, but why not to think about now available research? Because MHD is characterized by 4-5 scientists over there, 4-5 research papers are there, Bhupriya, Rajendran, Kartal, Rawat. But most important part, in sub-Himalaya, lesser Himalaya and higher Himalaya, the dip and side dip is varying. So I will show you their dip values are different. Then finally, based on their dip value, we found out that MHD dip in higher Himalaya from 4 to 7 degrees, in lesser Himalaya 16 to 20 degrees, 25 degrees near them. Then we have estimated the depth, we have checked from this part, the depth of particular this MHD. So accordingly, sir, we have then estimated, we have simulated RRK along the MHD from possible location for magnitude from 7.3 to 8.1, the rupture parameters and different strike, dip, slip, distribution, density, stress, those are mentioned, those are from the recording. Finally, we simulated different earthquakes on this particular MHD. So, and find out the same way we find it out the correlation coefficient from the intensity. But the best correlation coefficient came out when then the rupture is at the red position. Red star, the final location is this particular location with highest correlation coefficient is 130 km north of HFT, approximately 50 km north of Uttarkashi earthquake in the higher Himalaya at a depth of 20 km. So this particular work is published in Earth Science. This is the geological model for this. So we have also produced the intensity BS39 on this particular part. Finally, but the most important in this part that Wilhelm has proposed a slip of 3.3 meter in this particular area after 1803 up to 1991. The same similar estimation for Himachal was given by Dr. Perumal, that is 10.3. But at the same time for Uttarkashi and Chamboli, he has suggested that 1 meter slip is released in those parts. So net slip is 1.3. Okay. Net slip is 1.3 meter left. So that proposes a magnitude of 7.3. So on the basis of that too, we have estimated that 7.2 and 7.3 earthquake and prepared the PGO. Because if instant earthquake happens, 7 magnitude, the ground acceleration maps are prepared, and for a possible, if complete slip will be there, then 7.2, 7.3 will be there, then that ground acceleration map, that can be used. So similar part we can do for Himachal, 1900 Andhra. We have tried, we have started this particular work because time is less. Different source locations were proposed by different researchers. We are on the process. These are the different input parameters which from the literature we found out. And then we simulated the site identification BS39 we have prepared for this particular zone. We have simulated the location and magnitude and rupture from each location and then intensity values for the Kangra earthquake. But we are not at the final end, but the locations which are suggested by Kumar and Mahajan 2000 and Thakur et al. 2000 are almost their range of correlation is very close. But at the same time, we are thinking about rupturing in this because in between their location, we have to check the location with rupture to justify the exact location magnitude for 1905 Kangra with the same. So this particular, the last process is going on for this one because I thought this is relevant over it. So last one slide. In Kutch, where 4 segments were proposed, we have generated the ground acceleration map from each of the segments for KMF and KH. So these are A, B, C, D. These are A, B, C, D, 4 particular segments that are characterized with the paleoseismological data. Their length, active fault length was given, and based on that, for Kutch main and fault, 7.6 magnitude was assigned. For Petrol Hill fault, that is 7.5, and then we estimated the Haja. In the southern part, at 4 areas, the ground acceleration we have estimated, we have given the response factors. And the last one, sir, Amir Sharma sir yesterday discussed the role of dip. This is magnetotelluric data acquired up to a depth of 20 to 40 kilometers of the same fault, sir. The above one is the western segment, and the lower one is the eastern segment. You can see that same fault is dipping north as well as the south too. So once we will finalize this as dipping south, the reason is it is crossed by the transverse fault, which we have done. But the change in hazard is maximum up to 48% when the dip is changing. So the location of fault with geophysical surface as well as its characterization with depth and finding of the dip and strike, that is also important for correct or final estimation of seismic. With this, sir, I am stopping this. Thank you.
Thank you, Kapil Mohan. We know most of us will agree with me that NCS is doing a lot of work. Just a quick question. It's a query. You are proposing to place the strong ground motion network in Himachal Pradesh. And Professor Mahajan has suggested to place it in school. And looking at the seismicity and looking at the density of data, strong motion data, what kind of treatment levels?
So yesterday I talked about the landslides in three regions of Kangra district. Today I will talk about seismic microgestion efforts for Kangra Valley as well as Chitla city. So you will see some of the results, and I hope looking at your cities you will have a lot of valleys. Dr. Kapil has mentioned the establishment of the motion data between Kangra and Chamba region, are most seismically active region, and it's a 100-kilometer span where we have, I think if it is proposed and it is successfully installed in that region, so we will be having a strong motion data which we are lacking to simulate our own data sets. And if we get these slow motion data, arrange to establish that network with the main center at Nadi and stations around this and all these things. But if they install a number of more broadband stations, that will be good to monitor the seismic activity of the region. But when they monitor the seismic activity, when they monitor the peak load acceleration, they are going to give a seismic hazard map. And that hazard map is only reflect the PGA ground motion of the bedrock level. But above the bedrock, there is a lot of soil deposits, alluvial soil, which is standing above the bedrock, which get amplified during an earthquake. At the same time, if you are in the epicentral region, even on a hard rock, there is a push from the down, and some of the building may get suffer damage. So I will pick on only on those issues because my target is characterize the site, each and every site in the city of Shimla as well as the Kangra Valley, and then find out the shear wave velocity. Shear wave velocity, because you all engineers are there, they know only stiffness values of them. You perform the SPT only for this purpose so that you can find out the number of blows, how many blows, so you can calculate the shear wave velocity. But here, we are giving the shear wave velocity directly of each and every site up to 30 meters depth with a accuracy of 5 meters per second, which is a very good accuracy. अच्छा ये दो चलान करेंगे. Okay. Dr. Kapil has mentioned that different earthquakes had occurred, and main was 1905 Kangra earthquake, which was in the region itself, which can create a high frequency as well low frequency for the Kangra Valley. And then for the Shimla region, you have the Kinnaur region, which is proposing a normal fault, and then Garhwal region, which can have an earthquake and can impact the Shimla region. Even the Kangra region can have an effect. But in the Kangra region, you have another potential source is Kashmir, which can have. You have seen that whenever there is an earthquake in Hindu Kush Valley, whenever there is in Nepal, you have seen few days, 3-4 days back, a 6 magnitude earthquake can jolt the whole Delhi region. Why? It was far away, but most of the building that got jolted. Why? Because the low frequency, when reaching that the Delhi region, where is a lot of loose soil alluvial deposits are there, and multi-story buildings are there, the natural frequency of the soil didn't match with the natural frequency of, it's almost in resonance with the natural frequency of the buildings, and that's why they suffered the most vibrations. And if the magnitude increase and it make a little bit closer, we will have a much more damage. I'll show you that when the Kangra earthquake occurred, there was a lot of damage in Kangra Valley, Maklodganj, Kangra Fort, Kullu region and all things. But I will focus on Kangra. Why this damage has occurred during that time, in which region? Now these are just a map of this area, which shows the occurrence of major earthquake and small earthquakes. And this is the seismic activities, which shows concentration of seismic activities. This is the Kishtwar region, then we have the Kangra region, then we have this Kinnaur region and Garhwal region, sorry. This is the Kinnaur region. So, seismic potentials are different at different zones, which has a capacity to generate a magnitude more than 7 or 8. Now we are more interested in this, which area can generate an 8 magnitude. If an 100 to 100 kilometer away epicenter is there, then it can generate a lot of low frequency waves. If the magnitude is epicenter is just below the, like that of Kangra region, below the Dharamshala, then it has a lot of other consequences. At the same time, these tectonic faults, Dharamshala region has number of faults. When you reach near Jwalamukhi, you have the Jwalamukhi thrust. You might have seen near the Kangra port, rocks are sliding like this. So Jwalamukhi thrust is there. When you reach a near scope, you have the Drini thrust, which passes from Chilgadi and even between stadium and these things. Only these things that stadium area is on moraine deposit that doesn't show any features on the top because it's a hard material, and passes toward Palpur, and on the west it goes to Drini and Chamba. Then you have the, when you reach underneath, you have the MBT. After MBT, you have the Chal thrust, Punjab thrust, and then one more Shali thrust is there. So, lot of thrust within a few kilometers, and that's why even the Dharamshala region has an active landslides problem, because these between Dreams thrust and main Mondi thrust. So when there is a lot of compression is there, so they are also controlling, putting a lot of pressure into the land mass over there. So this is how is with depth the seismic activity is there. Now MCT in Dharamshala is beyond the Dauladar mountains. It is a holy region. Dauladar, beyond, to this side of the Dauladar we have the Lesser Himalaya. Away from that also we have the Lesser Himalaya. But Dauladar is in a batholithic part which extends from only Dalhousie to Mandi. Neither on that side, nor on this side. Now this is the seismic alert map given by me itself long back in 2010. It is going to be revised soon. We have already worked on this, and probably within a year we will come with a new hazard map for this region if there is any changes are there. So this shows this region which has a peak ground acceleration of 0.5 g. If any earthquake will occur in this region, definitely that will cause a much more devastation. And we are already having 118 years of the previous earthquake, 1905, long back. Then these are the some presentations were there yesterday also, and probably Dr. Sharma might have talked today regarding the seismic gaps. There were seismic gaps are there. So it means those gaps have not released any energy so far. They may release the energy, but the research is going on whether these seismic gaps have been, because that's why Dr. Perumal is also looking at this. If these gaps have been activated recently in the past, means recent means be geologically 10,000 years recent. So don't think it is only last year or that time. So our language of recent is only not in years. So my point is, can we make it durable, such type of structures? Yes, if we can build it at a proper foundation. Now you have seen number of earthquakes, damage. Why this damage is much more in such areas? This is all on loose alluvial deposits, multi-story buildings and everything. And this is, see, look at the Kangra temple. This was the scenario of Kharsetganj, Palampur. These are the scenario of 1905 Kangra earthquake. And these are the structural control over that. This is the church, which you can see at the moment also. So, are these structures, now there's a lot of people. Maklodganj and Bagsuna is full of constructions. Imagine if any earthquake will occur, because even itself the Maklodganj is sitting at the fault, and fault is passing through the center of the market, passing to the Dal Lake and going to the Nadi. And if that fault will get activated, what will be the status of the Maklodganj itself? Then Bagsuna, when you enter Bagsuna temple, before that temple parking, you have the bridge. And near the bridge, I have seen multi-story buildings standing on both sides. And that is a transverse fault which has displaced a sandstone rock in comparison to the limestone rock the past. So that slide is, that zone is also active. I'm going more specific because most of the people are related to this region. So I'm targeting those areas so that you also know these things, but it's important for us. Now these are the some of the examples we have talked yesterday more on this things. This is something of liquefaction and ponding effect. This is the having a water body swimming pool on the top of the building. How the swimming pool can damage. Now number of hotels are thinking of having a swimming pool on the top, which is a very dangerous during an earthquake. Gujarat, yes, Gujarat. We are here together. Dr. Kamal and myself together during investigation. कुछ examples रखे हुए हैं. This is also from that reason itself. So these examples shows that number of, you might have seen recently Morocco earthquake. A building has been moving like this. See, we say that when there is an earthquake, vibrations are going on, you can move out. And once it stops, it will fall. So the mock drills, we are normally carrying out for this purpose only, that how much time you have to move out. Now this is one of the example of Nepal. Again the same scenario. Now I will come to the next part. These are the some of the examples. These examples are to show you a curiosity of the event. How much one earthquake can cause the damage. When we built an structure, we spent crores of rupees. But we never thought when these crores of rupees will go into zero. We have to think on that. Whenever we plan our constructions, number of people, they go for an loan, bank loan, to have an apartment in number of cities where those alluvial deposits. Go to Mohali, go to Panchkula, go to Yamuna Valley in Delhi. We spend money having on 14th floor, a very good scenario at the moment. But if it falls, where your floor is there, 14 floors will go. You will search your floor. So the point is, why you are going to invest crores of rupees in such an area where you know that, see, long back in 2005 or 6, one of the American was there, Owen Lewis was there, here at Dharamshala. He was doing field work with me. So I have given accommodation in one of the McLeodganj hotel. He said, Mahajan, मैं यहाँ नहीं रहूँगा, तेरे घर में रहूँगा. I don't want to stay here. So he didn't stay over there. He stayed with me at my residence. Rather than say, रात को पता नहीं है, when the earthquake will come, I will not stay. So the point is, when we also know that these all areas are subject to any damage, why we should invest crores of rupees of that. आज का मौका इसलिए अच्छा है क्योंकि आप इंजीनियर्स बहुत कम मिलते हैं, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर बहुत कम मिलते हैं. हम साइंटिस्ट आपस में तो बात कर लेते हैं, एक दूसरे की गलतियां भी निकाल लेते हैं, मगर ये पास आउट करना, क्योंकि ये राणा साहब की मैं बहुत तारीफ करता हूँ इसी मामले में. ही हैज बीन टेकिंग लॉट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट सिंस 2005 in such type of activities, and he has been shown his dedication that how he wanted to have a very sustainable state in the region. We have done in 2019, I think most of you people might have come over to that place at Dharamshala when we have done a big workshop on disaster management where about 500 people have participated. So that time also we have given the mock drills also, some examples also, and even on 6 to 8 November this year, we are going to have another workshop at Dharamshala at Central University of Madhya Pradesh. Now the point is, where I want, it's the fault. Now source is this, earthquake will start generating, pass from different paths which have different type of rocks, and it will come under the buildings, और building के नीचे जो है different type of material.